Hey y'all, it's Kicking Chickens. Well, I ain't posted for a few days. I want to let you know what's going on around here. Got heat issues again out in the shop, which is my garage. But back in June, I think, or July, I don't remember, when I put that mini split system in, my garage, I just started on that in June, turning it into a shop. And it was full of junk. And in order for me to alleviate that, two of my sons and my granddaughter came over and I rented a dumpster. I should have sold a lot of this stuff, and I just wanted it gone. But me hanging around with them out there, they weren't going to get rid of anything. I kept saying, nope, not that, not that. So I decided, I gave them instructions, do not throw away any tools, do not throw away any motorcycle parts. And I left and let them do their thing. So I don't know what they got rid of, and I don't care. I'm not missing anything yet. I'm sure I will. But anyway, so since I started that, I was able to insulate one. I've got two walls, an overhead door that were not insulated, and I had one wall that was insulated and drywall that connects to the house. So I was able to insulate one wall and insulate the garage door. The other wall I haven't been able to insulate because it's got all the junk piled up against it. So this spring I'm going to be taking care of all of that. I need more room. I need a bandsaw desperately. Maybe even a planer. I don't know yet. But anyway, when it gets down to 0 or below, that mini split system will not heat the garage to the temperature that needs to be out there to able to work on guitars. I can get it up to around 50 degrees, but I don't feel comfortable with having guitars out there at that low a temperature. So whatever I was working on out there, whatever guitars I had out there, I moved into the house, and I haven't been doing anything out there. So I've come in back where I started at here at the kitchen, and I'm just tinkering around a little bit. It's supposed to be warm enough by Monday. If it gets up to low 20s, high teens, I can heat it up enough to continue out there, and it's supposed to be 20-something Monday. But anyway, that's what's going on out there. I made a video, and YouTube says I overstepped my boundaries with some background music, so I don't have the video of this. But as you can see, this is the pick guard that's going on that red Strat. I put what everybody calls a Gilmore switch in, if you can see that. And took me a while to find a gold switch. This is the only one I could find. And I've got that sticking up a little higher than I would like. And I may try to take care of it. I may just leave it. But what I did, I took a piece of brass and made this bracket in here. It goes under this potentiometer and this potentiometer. Comes over here, and I've got it offset up to hold that switch in there. Now you can buy these brackets, but that wasn't going to work for me because I bought this pick guard with no control holes in it. So I drilled these control holes. I don't like this volume control being way up here closer to this pickup than what it is now. I mean, it's still pretty close, but I had planned on, in the beginning, just using one volume, one tone. I hadn't planned on the Gilmore switch or the other tone. But I've since changed my mind, so I had to move things around a little bit. It's awful crowded, but I don't have it as close to this pickup as most Strats are. But anyway, that's why the store-bought bracket wouldn't work for me, because these are in different positions than what they normally would be. And that's what's going on with this. I wish that video would have been able to stay up and making this bracket, because it's not really hard to do. But anyway, on with this Harley guitar. I've got 15 coats of True Oil on it. I'm getting ready to sand, and I'll probably put, I don't know, 10 or 15 more on it after that. And I believe here in a little bit, I'm going to try to wet sand here in the kitchen, because wet sanding True Oil, I do it differently than most guys do, so I won't be making that big of a mess. But anyway, I want to show you the parts I've got for this thing. I've had these parts for a while. I bought them for another guitar, everything except for the bridge, and I ended up selling that guitar. So I got to thinking about it. I found these parts. I thought, this would work good. But I bought this Geiger trim bridge. This dude is heavy duty, man. This is a nice bridge. I like it. String through. And I've talked to Chris over at VCG 5151 Guitars, 5150 I mean, and he's going to give me a hand with this, because I have little or no experience with this type of tremolo system. You know, it came with 2 sets of springs, a brass claw. It's a good bridge. And all this other stuff I got, it came from Geiger also. We got the switch boat. It's embossed. It's got like a skull and a bat on it, if you can see that. It'll drop down in there. I got, this guitar is going to have 3 single coils, so I've got 3 of these pickup rings that are going to go in it. And the switch cover, and also the knobs that'll go on it, and this little bronze colored wiggle bar. So that's the parts on this. And also I got a set of Fender Tex-Mex pickups. I'll be changing these white covers to black, I assume. I don't think I can find any bronze covers. If I can, I will, but if not, they'll be black. And all this Geiger stuff I bought, all these parts, came with no screws. So I've had to order bronze colored screws, and whatever bronze I can't use, I'll be using black, or whatever bronze I can't find. And I also got these bronze locking tuners. I forget where I got these. Are Geiger also, yeah, Geiger tuners. So that's what's going on with this one. As far as pick guard, I don't know yet. I haven't made a decision. You know, I don't know. I don't know if I'll make one, if I'll be able to find something I like to put on it. I don't know. I think a standard pick guard should fit on this. When I gave this to Josh over at Electric Whittler, I had drawn on here in pencil where the pick guard was going to go, so he didn't carve inside that pick guard. But that's what's going on here. I'll make another video of wet sanding this, since I do that a little differently than I normally do with True Oil. And hopefully by Monday I'll be back in the shop. I mean, this is ridiculous, man. But doing the best I can. I hope you guys don't give up on me. Just give me a little time to get all this stuff straightened out in the shop, get it together. It's going to take me a little while. I would like to eventually have all the walls out there finished. Nothing fancy, you know, because I make a hell of a mess out there, man, when I'm buffing, sanding, whatever, you know, which I like that. I like being able to not worry about how much of a mess I'm making, and just do what I want to do, you know. I'll eventually have a room in here. I've got plenty of room in the house to, you know, hang guitars on the wall and all that. Right now I've got them piled all over the living room. I've got a Marshall half stack in the living room. I mean, so just, my wife was still here, she would be crapping, buddy. She would not allow this, I know that. But unfortunately, she's not here anymore. But anyway, I'll let you go. I'll get some wet sanding on this. I'll show you how I do that. And actually, you know, I've never done anything like this with engraving. I'm not really sure yet how I'm going to be doing all this. I've got some ideas, but I don't know if they'll work. So we'll just have to wait and see. All right, y'all. Take care, and I'll see you down the road.